Hello, my name's Ali Alvarez. I'm a Mexican-American filmmaker living in London at the moment, and I'm working on a documentary about these monarch butterflies. But unlike the nature documentaries you may have seen about them before, what I'd like to do is make a film about the people that they pass on their migration south to Mexico. If you've seen the documentary series Stephen Fry in America, imagine a bit of that mixed with winged migration. So we'll follow these beautiful butterflies on their way down and meet people along the way. Why do I want to tell the story this way? Well, as I started researching this migration, certain stories came up, and there seemed to be a theme of these butterflies, these monarchs, showing up in moments of kind of tragedy and loss. And they were a sign of beauty and hope for people that had just experienced something really sad. So one of these stories is from a woman, let's say her name's Virginia, and she told me about a day where these monarch butterflies kind of came in by the hundreds into her backyard. And she wrote, "They're very special to me. We had just had our dog put to sleep that very morning because he'd gotten very sick with pancreatitis. When the butterflies started drifting into the yard, I couldn't help feeling comforted by their almost miraculous presence. It felt like a gift of beauty on a very, very sad day." I met a man named Clive who lives in Dorset, England, and he's a real eccentric butterfly lover, amazing man. He told me a story about how he was sitting in his garden and one orange monarch landed in front of him. He knew that it had flown all the way across the Atlantic and somehow ended up there. And 5 minutes after that butterfly landed in front of him, Clive got a phone call from a friend of his and said that one of their friends had just been in a car accident about 5 minutes before, which would have been right when that monarch landed in front of him, and this friend of his passed away. So these really powerful stories and really human stories started kind of appearing when I researched, and you know, they're not easy stories to tell of kind of loss, but I think there's a moment of beauty and hope that these butterflies kind of represent. And when I came across this story, I just knew that I kind of had to tell this film in this way. So this story is about an NYPD officer who was in charge of cleaning up Ground Zero after September 11th happened. He remembers seeing a wheel of one of the hijacked planes 2 blocks away. Mostly though, they just uncovered body parts on top of buildings, thrown through windows, but mostly buried in the rubble. Amid their horror, there were moments of surreal beauty. He said, "One day we were right in the center of the pile, and suddenly all these butterflies appeared from the debris. They were monarch butterflies and they were everywhere. Everyone stopped and just looked at this cloud of butterflies. It was like even in the midst of all this, life goes on." These are stories that I've found along the route that these monarchs migrate, and this is how I want to follow their migration and tell some of the stories. These are just a handful of the ones. So for the end of the film, the idea is to take all the people we've met on the journey along the way. So let's say the butterfly guy out here in England somewhere, the New York firefighter, the girl in Texas with the dog, and invite them all to the one mountain in Mexico where the butterflies go, because they've only seen them passing through, so they've never seen all 300 million of them. So the idea is to invite 5 people down and they meet for the first time in the place that the butterflies go to. Should be a pretty magical moment, really. Your money and your support will go towards everything from equipment hire to very low budget accommodation, some car hire, post-production, so the editing of this film. I would like to perhaps use a bit of animation throughout to help bring some of these stories to life. I would really love your support in making this. This is a project that is really close to my heart. If there's any profit at all from this film, in one way or another, I'd like to donate any money that we raise that isn't used on production to the El Rosario Butterfly Sanctuary down in Michoacan, Mexico, and that will go towards conserving the forest that these butterflies live in. Thank you again for watching this and for your time, and if there are any questions or you would like to know anything more, please feel free to contact me on the details below. Thank you.